Hello and welcome to Michael's Minty Music. It has been a little bit. Today we review the soundtrack for the 2006 DS game New Super Mario Bros. This was a reboot slash remake slash sequel of Nintendo's classic platforming series on their new handheld console. It was composed by the veteran Mario composer Koji Kondo along with the two newer composers Hajime Wakai and Asuka Hayazakai. It's a really good game and a really good soundtrack. This is the track listing. 60 tracks, comes in at about an hour and 20 minutes, which is pretty good. A lot of shorter tracks, but the overall length is pretty good when compared to other albums. Not too long to listen through. And these are the tracks I added to my playlist, 32 out of 60, so just 2 over half. This soundtrack is quite good. There are just enough remixes of the older tracks combined with new tracks, which sound quite good. Almost all the world map tracks are really good, and most of the in-game music themes are great. The flow is pretty good. There are just too many short meh tracks to really get something good going over the whole album. But there are a few spots where things really pick up well. The opening couple of tracks are great. The run, which starts with Toad House minigame, is really good, and that one manages to go all the way to the staff credits. The back half of the album is filled up with the minigame music, which is mostly remastered tracks from Super Mario 64 and some other Mario games. This is a pretty decent way to close out this soundtrack, but it could be better. Ending with a credits track is preferable in my opinion. In terms of quality and style, it's very impressive. The DS soundtrack chip is really not that much worse than modern hardware, so there aren't really any limitations on songs anymore. The style still manages to be distinct, however, with specific sound fonts and synths being used to sort of connect tracks over the course of the game. Overall, this album is definitely really good, lots of variety in sound and nice hooks here. My favorite track is probably Trampoline Time, which apparently is sort of a remaster of a Super Mario Sunshine track, which is itself an a cappella version of the main ground theme from the first Super Mario game. It's really well done. This is a really good song, and its placement towards the end of the album is also very well done. In terms of more original stuff, though, I might go with Bowser Jr. Battle. It's really good, probably the best kind of original track out here. And I rank this album second out of all of the Mario soundtracks I've heard so far, only underneath Super Mario World 2, which is a really incredible soundtrack. This is really the improved and sort of completed version of something like Super Mario 3 and Super Mario World, which both had a lot of variety and styles but were held back by the limitations of their hardware. New Super Mario Bros. Feels like they were just able to kind of let loose with anything they could think of, leading to a soundtrack which is all good and all over the place stylistically. The synth pack they used is also really good, definitely an outstanding sort of collection of basic sounds to use for stuff. Overall, definitely a high-ranking soundtrack in terms of Mario, and definitely deserves the spot it's got here. This soundtrack is also the only ranked soundtrack so far for DS games, and my favorite Nintendo soundtrack from 2006 because it's the only Nintendo soundtrack from 2006. In terms of overall albums, though, this album does not take my top spot. That stays with Pink's I'm Not Dead, which is really great and definitely a step above New Super Mario Bros., although it does give it a surprising amount of sort of run for its money. But Pink just has a lot more consistency across the whole album and comes together more in terms of kind of styles. I also always prefer kind of a traditional pop rock album than a video game soundtrack, so thank you for watching. Next up will be Thundercat's brand new album Distracted, which is releasing April 3rd. I've been waiting to hear more from him for a while. His last album released in 2020, and it's been almost a decade since Drunk. I'll be going in completely blind, but I'm excited to hear what he's got. Even if I don't like it that much, I'll still enjoy sort of listening to it because it's new. So stay tuned for that, and as always, stay minty.